Hey, welcome back. So today we're going to be talking about five different tips on raising healthy kids. I get this question so much. In our country today, adults, more than 70% of us are overweight and don't want to be. And as it only makes sense that if we as the parents are overweight and we have overweight habits, we pass that on to our kids. And if a child is raised in a home that is overweight, they have a 200 to 400% shot of being overweight themselves. And as a mom, I used to be the mom, I've struggled with my weight since I've been an adult. Topped the scale at 288 pounds, busting out of a size 22. And it was one of those things that I really was the parent who said, I'm overweight, but my kids won't be. I eat the cheesecake, but my kids are gonna eat the carrots. There just are. I didn't want my kids to have the same struggles with weight that I did. And then I started getting into this health coaching thing and talking with clients and interviewing clients and hearing so many of them say, Carmen, my mom was overweight, my dad was overweight, they did this, they did that, and I don't want to be like my mom, or I don't want to be like my dad. And in the very beginning of this being my profession, it would bring me to tears because I know without a shadow of a doubt that on the path I was on, that would have been me. Those would have been my kids. I was setting the example of what they would not have wanted to be versus setting the example of, hey, this isn't easy, but you can do it. Hey, I know this is hard, but there's hope. I know that there's a fast food restaurant on every freaking corner, but you can still choose healthy decisions. And so I get lots of questions because, again, with adults being overweight, a large percentage of our children are starting to develop a weight habit as well. And so I want to share with you 5 tips that have worked. I'm a mom of 3 and that have worked so far with our kids. And then just a couple things of things that don't work, things that didn't work with me when I was a kid. All right, so raising healthy kids. Let's go ahead and dive into the things that you really don't want to do. All right, the things you don't want to do if you're trying to raise kids with a healthy weight is do not make food a reward. Okay, and so many times I would have been one of these parents that did this because I grew up with it, and most of us do what we were taught. No one gives us a manual when we have kids of how to do it. It's kind of trial and error. We figure it out as we're going, and it just is what it is. But most adults have an emotional attachment to food. Most of us are emotional eaters, and that starts from the time we're kids. We are typically taught as kids, we are rewarded or punished with food. We are taught that, hey, you did good, you can have a snack, or you finished your dinner, you can have a snack, or you won the championship at the baseball game, let's go get ice cream. Or if you don't finish your dinner, you're not getting a snack. Or if you're a bad boy or a bad girl, you're not having ice cream. So most of us create this positive and negative emotion around food. We go to it as a reward. So here's the deal. It is much better to reward them or take something away that's not food related than just doing with food. Reward them with, hey, we're going to go see a movie, or hey, we're going to spend this time, do something that they like. That's what I found with my kids. It's not even always buying them something. It's, I'm going to give my daughter a pedicure, or we're going to go hiking with our son, or they get to pick the movie we're going to watch for family dinner night. There's different rewards you can give that aren't food. If you really start thinking about what gets your child excited, what blesses them, I think you're going to find that the other things actually are a bigger blessing to them than an ice cream cone. Are you with me? All right, second thing not to do is not to talk about their weight. So many times I'll see parents talking about their kids' weight. And our kids, they are just like me and my brother. When we were growing up, my brother was a beanpole. I could put on weight very easily. And it's the same thing with our 2 kids. Our third's a baby, but our 2 older kids, one's a beanpole, muscular, strong, and our daughter has my genetics when it comes to weight. So she's more prone, she can eat something, and you can see it in her much more than you can see it in our son. Well, I know this, but I don't tell her this. I don't talk about it with her. It's my job as the parent to monitor their weight. It's not my job to say, no junk, you know what? I see your belly's getting big, no junk food. If I see that one of them's belly's getting big, then I am the one that shops. I'm the one that does the meal planning. I can just tailor what I have in the house based on the goals for my kids. Does that make sense? But I don't ever, and I can remember one time we had a relative that poked one of our kids' stomachs, and my husband he stopped it right away. He was like, no, don't do that. Why? Because the last thing I want is a little boy or a little girl developing unhealthy habits because of the opinions of others. And we live in a cruel, cruel world where we get judged by our outward appearance. But the best thing you can do for your kids is just to give them healthy options. And we're going to talk about that here in a second. Don't point out any overweightness that they have. You just start making the changes as the parent. Don't expect them at 5, 6, 10, 12, 15 to have the maturity to be able to process the fact that they're disappointing you with how they look. Does that make sense? All right, cool. So now here's some really good things that you can do that are really, really simple. Have them drink water. Our kids from a very young age, they never got juice. They don't get a lot of soda. They drink water 90% of the time. And now that they've gotten a little bit older, and this was even as a child, they didn't get milk. They took a multivitamin that had all their vitamins in it. They didn't need the calcium. They got that through a multivitamin. So they didn't drink their calories. Most people that are overweight drink their calories, and we start that habit from a young child. We don't drink milk. Most kids drink juice all day long. And this was something we didn't do with our kids. And it's something we had heard from parents that we respected, parents that had good, honorable, healthy kids. And I just thought, wow, that's a really good idea. So we decided to do it. And the shocking part to me is sometimes when people hear that our kids never had juice, they're like, oh, you don't give we're depriving them. Look, my kids have never felt deprived. They didn't know any different. They'll say, well, Johnny's mom buys juice. I'll say, great. So glad that Johnny's mom does. Mommy's not going to. I don't put down on Johnny's mom. Great. That's awesome for Johnny. We're just not going to make that same choice here in our household. So I got them drinking water at a young age. When they were little, we called it the nectar of the gods. I would talk about water like it was like, oh, I'd be like, come on guys, let's get our water. You know how good water is? Water is like the nectar of the gods. It is like, it helps make you strong. It helps make you healthy. It helps gives you energy. All those things are true. But I created excitement around drinking our water for the day. And so our daughter will still be like, Mom, I'm going to be really healthy. I'm super thirsty. She'll get a big old thing of water and she'll drink. It's because she's been taught that drinking water helps keep you healthy. We don't talk about being skinny or fat here in our household. We talk about being healthy, having energy, being the best version of yourself. That's what my kids know. They don't even know, anyway. All right. Second thing, teach them serving sizes. Oh my goodness. This was a big one for me. When I started losing weight, I was shocked at what I didn't know about serving sizes. Everything I thought was a serving, I was way wrong. Way wrong. And we have been programmed by restaurants of what a serving is. When you go to a restaurant, they don't serve you anywhere near a serving. The servings are much bigger than what a serving is, which is fine. But I had no idea. So I wound up 288 pounds, morbidly obese, because of the habits I created. I had no idea what a serving of a brownie was, what a serving of potato chips was. I sat down with the bag, what a serving of Oreos was. I just didn't know. And so when I realized that, wow, this is something that I do not know, it was really a thing that I wanted to teach our kids. And so even today, I would start telling them, hey guys, you want some cookies? Okay, awesome. Let's see what a serving size is. So it wasn't mommy saying, nope, you can only have 2. It was, let's see what the package says. We're going to have a serving. And now that they can read, it's really great. They'll be picking out a snack and they'll be like, well, let's see how many we can have. They turn it over and they automatically look at the serving size themselves. And they know that a serving size of licorice is 2 pieces. They know a serving size of Oreos is 3 cookies. They know a serving size of popcorners is 17 chips. They know this. So when they're picking, they'll be like, I don't know, we can have 17 chips or 2 cookies. They don't typically go for the Oreos because they only get a couple. They go for the chips because they get 17. And so, but the whole point is they're learning what a serving size is. It doesn't mean they're always going to follow it, but we're not responsible for what they do eventually. We're responsible for what they do under our care. And so teach your kids what a serving size is. This is hugely important, not only as children, but it's important as they get to be adults, that they know, they at least have that in here. Cut down on the options of snacks. So in our household, we have a basement, and in our basement, we have like a nook area. And in that nook area is like all the junk food lives. And once a week, our kids are allowed to come down and pick out one snack, whether it's cookies, whether it's licorice, whether it's nerds, whatever it is they have, whatever it is we have, they're allowed. I get it when it's on sale, it's super cheap, and then I bring it down here to our basement. And they're allowed to pick out one snack for the week. And the only other thing that typically lives in our pantry is a bag of pretzels. And that's it. So they can have pretzels with their lunch. They have the one snack that they get to bring up, but they don't have 10 options of snacks. They don't have mini Oreos and cookies and Fritos and Nerds and Easter candy and, Halloween candy or Christmas, whatever holiday it just was. They don't have 10 options of snacks to choose from. They have one. First of all, it makes it more special. It makes them look forward to it. Versus if we have access to all this stuff, now it makes us entitled. Now it makes us like picky. It makes us just, it doesn't do anything good. Look, I've tried it. I've seen other parents that are close to me do it. And this way works the best, not only for helping create the healthiest kids you can, but also for setting up good habits. Guys, 70% of all adults are currently overweight. That means our kids have a 70, if not greater, because it's probably going to keep growing. It is our job as parents to give them the best foundation that we can. Not because they're going to weigh this or going to weigh that, but so they can be healthy, so they can be on this planet as long as they can be. Look, I want my kids to be as old as they can. I don't want my kids to die young because they were overweight. That would stink. All right. Next one, get them involved in meal planning. So, hey guys, what are some healthy things you think we should put on the menu this week? What are some veggies? Well, what vegetable would you like to see with chicken on Tuesday night? And when you get them involved in it, they now have ownership. If they pick the broccoli, they want the broccoli. If they help cook the broccoli, they really want the broccoli. When you're at the grocery store and they get to pick a bag of veggies out of the freezer section or a can of vegetables, pick any 5 cans you want, buddy. That's ownership. They're involved. We naturally get excited about our own decisions. Have you ever noticed that? Like most of us we like our decisions better than anyone else's decisions. So get them involved in the decision making of what you're going to be having. And last, I dropped my paper. Last but not least is come up with fun family activities with the kids that don't involve technology. One thing we'll do with our kids is we'll go outside and we'll play hide and go seek. Inside we'll play hide and go seek. We'll go for a walk. We will go around the yard and just pick up sticks. We will, we go to the park and we ride bikes. We do things as a family. I do things with the kids that are activities that don't involve technology. Why? Because I know that it sucks them in. I know that when my daughter gets in front of that TV, I can say, Liberty, Liberty. Sometimes I can say her name 3 times and she never even hears me because she is so sucked in. And so how that translates, when we have kids that are addicted to phones and TVs, that's what we get as adults. And the more sedentary we are as kids and adults, the less calories we're burning, the more weight we're going to be storing on our bodies. And I know as parents, especially if you've ever been an overweight parent, if you've ever been a parent who's struggled with your weight, I know the last thing we want our kids to do is have that same struggle. I was overweight for more than a decade. It affected every area of my life. It affected my marriage. It affected my sex life. It affected my confidence. It affected my energy. It affected how I felt about myself. It affected so many things. It added so much stress to my life. The last thing I want to do is have that for my kids. if I can help it. And so, again, nothing's a guarantee. My kids could leave the house and go freaking eat it all, but that's on them. All I know is that I can do my very best to set them up with habits that are going to make them healthy and going to make them the best version of themselves. And as parents, I think that's all any of us can do. So anyway, let me know in the comments if there's something, an activity that you do with your kids that you're like, oh my gosh, we really love bike riding. We really love hiking. We really love playing, tag or going swimming or whatever it is. Yeah, let me know in the comments. So thank you so much for watching. Make sure to hit the subscribe button, give the video a thumbs up, ring the bell, and we will see you on the next one. Bye.